Hello PureForm pack members! Today we are going to do mini pumpkin pie tarts. I'm going to put the sugars in after, so these will be a great treat, nice pumpkin treat for the pups. So we're going to start with the crust. This is the same whether it's for the dogs or for you, so this is a nice bonus. Any crust that you have left over, you can make into another dessert for yourself. So we're going to start with 1 cup of flour and some salt. Just gonna stir it. My hands are washed. We have a nice food processor. I really like using this for my crusts because when we put the coconut oil in, and this is a 1/3 cup of coconut oil, you want it to be kind of crumbly, not in a liquid form. So put it in the fridge for a little bit so you can scrape it off. This will stir much nicer into the flour. So we're gonna put in the coconut oil. It's starting to soften up. And we're going to stir those first together until they get mixed. We want to pulse it until we get like a wet sand type of texture. It's looking almost there. Good. Now we're going to add our cold water. So make sure it is cold water. It's between 1.5 tablespoons and 3 tablespoons. And usually 3 is good. So 1/4 cup is a 3 tablespoon, just so you guys know. I'm gonna start this and we're gonna slowly pour it in until we get the consistency we want. This is easy to do with just a bowl and like a normal pastry cutter as well. And let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, that feels really nice. And you can tell that it's gonna stay together when you roll it out. You can always add flour, right? But roll it down on our rolling space here. Oh, this feels so good. Shape it into a nice disc. We are looking for about 1/4 inch thick. We will cookie cut them and then roll them out a little bit more. But first, let's preheat our oven. 350 Fahrenheit. This is my cookie cutter here. We're looking for around 3 inches, 3 1/4 inches. This recipe makes about 6 pie tarts. So we will start there. So again, we'll lightly flour. And then we're gonna roll these out so they are big enough to drape into our go. So now they are fairly thin, 1.5 the size, and we're going to drape them into pop these in. Try not to stretch the dough, but more place and then fold it. There we go. There's here's our tarts. So we got our blender here that's gonna mix up the filling. We have 1 1/4 tablespoon of arrowroot starch, 1/6 of a cup of warm coconut milk. I use coconut milk that doesn't have any gums or fillers. It's just the coconut and water. So if you can find something like that, our oven's ready. I also have 1/6 of a cup of maple syrup, and our pumpkin spice is 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, which I didn't have clove powder, so I ground it up, just normal full cloves, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of Himalayan salt. We have 1 cup and 1/3 of pumpkin puree, organic, and then 1/2 of a tablespoon of vegetable oil. I used avocado oil. Alrighty, so we just put our wonderful filling in here. We've got the pumpkin first. I'm going to do the coconut milk and the oil and the arrowroot starch and our spices. The only thing that we're going to wait on is the maple syrup. So we will put that in after we do our 3 puppy fillings. You will probably have to scrape down the sides as everything gets mixed. Pumpkin tends to be on the thick side, and we're not adding that much liquid, so, but this is looking pretty good. It smells good too. Okay, so when we fill our tarts, we're gonna go to 3/4 to the top. I might need to scoop in. Now we'll add the syrup. If this is too much maple syrup for you, you can slowly add it and just choose how much you'd like to put in there. It does depend on how much you're going to use for the dog. So if we did 4, then we'd put less maple syrup in, so it wouldn't be too sweet for the 2 we're going to do ourselves. I am going to mark our human treats with a little bit of walnuts on top. Perfect. In we go. 40 to 50 minutes. Okay, so I pulled these out after 50 minutes, and you can see the crust is nice golden brown. They smell really good. So we're gonna let them cool and see how Jessie likes it. So, you want to try the treat, Jessie?